memories of adulthood were the real dream. Until that night, his sister woke up from a nightmare. Thomas went to comfort her, but the name that came out was that of his youngest daughter. Soon, his sister fell back asleep, but Thomas sat on the edge of the bed, unable to sleep. He remembered that this was a dream, and in reality, his family was waiting for him. He shouldn't indulge in this. He needed to return to his own world. So the next day, Thomas rode his bicycle as fast as he could toward the cemetery. He went to the spot where he had first woken up, closed his eyes, and prayed to the heavens to send him back to the real world. But when he opened his eyes again, he was still in the dream. Dejected, Thomas returned home and buried himself in his mother's arms. His mother could see that her son was carrying an unspoken pain, but she didn't ask what was wrong. She just held him silently. Later, she took him to the lake to talk. It was then that Thomas learned. His father's birthday party had been postponed to that Sunday. Originally, on June 5th, Thomas hadn't come home on time, so the family had anxiously gone out searching for him. It wasn't until evening that his father found him unconscious at the cemetery, so the family gathering had to be cancelled. But Thomas had no memory of this. The doctor said he had hit his head in the fall, and temporary memory loss was normal. His mother's words made him understand. When he was 14, he had indeed injured his head. He had never been able to fully remember that period, and now he knew why. It wasn't that he had forgotten, but that his older self had already come back. What he didn't understand was why his older self had still been unable to change the outcome of his father leaving. Was history simply unchangeable? Regardless, he called his future wife, whom he hadn't even met yet, to make sure they would still cross paths later in life. Then, Thomas began to think calmly. What exactly had driven his father to abandon his family and vanish without a trace? If his coming back hadn't altered the original chain of events, then the day his father would leave was this Sunday. To keep his father from leaving, he made an excuse about his injury and took a week off from school, then stayed by his father's side every moment. The first day, he noticed nothing unusual, but he did realize how much he resembled his father. They were both the quiet, reserved type in their marriages. One day, he went to bring some pastries to his grandmother. His grandmother was happy to see Thomas. She prepared a feast and told him stories about his father's childhood. It turned out his grandfather had died young, so his father had to start working as a child to help support the family. Later, World War II broke out, and his father was sent to the front. There, he met a comrade. They fought side by side, risking their lives and saving many others. In the end, however, his comrade was killed. His father, who had survived, became withdrawn. Before dying, the comrade had